Bonjour, friends, family, and people who just found me on the interwebs. Welcome to vlog number 3. I have now been in France for 6 weeks. It's a long time. Biggest update of this vlog. Right now, you'll notice behind me, the Lion King sheets are no longer there. We have moved on to nice blue striped sheets. It was a good run with those Lion King sheets, but now I've grown up. It's a new time in my life. A new 6 weeks is ahead with new sheets. Anyway, let's see vlog number 3.
Oh, let's get rich and buy our parents' homes in the south of France. Let's get rich and give everybody nice sweaters and teach them how to dance.
In on the deets of what went down these last 2 weeks. When I left you from the last video, it was just a normal week. I had my first Interact meeting 2 weeks ago, which Interact is the Rotary Club for us youths. And so me and the other exchange students in Laval and my host siblings and a bunch of other kids were there, and there was decent food, just some snacks, and we talked about Rotary. I didn't understand anything, but it was still fun. So I'll go to that every other Wednesday. So that was fun. And the week was pretty normal. I just had school. I did a lot of doodling. I'm getting better at doodling, but yeah. And then 2 weekends ago was really exciting because it was my birthday. To me. I am now 17 years old, so I'll be able to vote in a year. Be able to vote in a year, and I haven't even made my bed up. Anyway, so 2 weeks ago was my birthday, and I had kind of like 2 little celebrations, so I'll get you the run down the runway. I made that joke last time. Anyway, so the Friday, vendredi, my birthday was Saturday, September 30th, and Friday, September 29th, I kind of celebrated with some friends, mostly my closest friend that I've made here in France. She's not French, she's Mexican. She's another exchange student, and she lives in the same town as me, and her name is Maka, and I've hung out with her a bunch, and it's just really great because we can just laugh and have so much fun together and relate to #exchange student problems. So, on Friday night, we went to dinner and we got crepes. I love me some crepes, which was delicious. And then we went to Six Parquet, which I talked about in my last vlog, which is like a bar, concert venue place. And we met some of my other friends from my music class there. And we listened to this band called Frustration, which was really weird. It was cool, but it was really weird. It was like this rock, alternative, electro band, but they were all like 50 years old, and everyone in the crowd was pretty old, and they were just loving it so much, and we were right there, like I was touching the stage, so it was really cool. Yeah, so that was really fun. And then, and also, for my birthday, Maka got me this bracelet from Mexico, which was really nice to add to my beautiful collection. Anyway, so Saturday, my actual birthday, my first host family, we talk about this a lot, I have 3 different host families, but my first host family had to go to a wedding in southern France, so for the weekend, I was going to stay with my second host family, and so I got up on Saturday morning, and my first host family had left me a little croissant with chocolate for my birthday, and they were just leaving when I woke up, so I said goodbye to them. They said, "Bon anniversaire, Julien." I was like, "Oh, thank you, merci, blah, blah, blah." And then I had to go catch a bus to get to Moral, which my second host family lives in. So the town that I'm in, Laval, they live in Moral, which is like 30 minutes away. So I had to get a bus, and I wasn't really sure what I was exactly supposed to do because the only directions I had was a French email from my second host mom, and I didn't really understand it in French, and I tried to translate it, and I didn't really understand it, and then I asked my host mom, and she was like, oh yeah, blah, 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 and said something, and I was just like, okay, because I thought I understood. So I was supposed to go to this one bus stop, and I was like, I can figure it out, like, it can't be that hard. Well, anyway, I got to the bus stop, and I was looking, I knew, like, what bus number it was and where it was going, but I didn't find it, so then I walked to these other bus stops, and I couldn't find it anywhere, and then I saw my bus, and I was like, yes, but it was gone. So I saw the bus driving down far away from me, and I was like, well, that is the bus I'm supposed to be on. So I had to call my host brother and be like, yo, up, I am stuck in Laval. So they came and picked me up and drove me, which I felt a little bad, but it was fine. And then I had lunch with my host family, my second host family, which is my host dad, my host mom, my host brother, who's 18, and he spent his year last year in South Carolina, so he speaks English. But his parents are like, son, you gotta speak French with this boy. And then I have two host sisters in that family. One is 12, and then one is 7. And the 7-year-old host sister had, like, 3 friends over at that time. So we all had lunch. And then after lunch, they brought out this, like, apple tart thing with candles in it and sang me happy birthday in French. And they got me a gift and candies and they got me this really neato book about the Eiffel Tower. So that was really exciting. And it's in French, English, and German. So German. Woohoo. Woohoo. Anyway, so that was really nice. And then that day I just hung out and played cards with my host brother and my host sister and played board games. And then that night, the host family was going to a big party because it was the host mom's brother, so the uncle of the host family, his 50th birthday. So they were having a huge party with all the family, all the friends, all the extended family, everyone was going that they knew. And so it just happened to be on my birthday, so we went, and it was crazy. So I'll give you the rundown of that. We got there at about 8 p.m., and I met all these people, all the friends, all the cousins, all the aunts, the uncles, the grandparents, and it was very overwhelming, and but it was cool, and we had some appetizers, and I kind of just hung out with my host brother and my host cousins, and it was totally fine. And then appetizers lasted from like 8 till 10. And then at 10, we all started to mingle over and we got ready to eat. And then from like 10 to like 10:30, we watched this video that my host brother made, and like they talked a little, and then they brought out the food. So we started eating at like 11, and then we ate from like 11 to 1, and then at 1 they played games until like 2, and then we had dessert and hung out. And then at 3 a.m. in the morning, everyone was still there, even all the 7-year-olds and everything. They started playing music, and like they had a DJ, so everyone was dancing, and I was dancing with my host brother and my host cousins and the friends, and it was crazy. And the dancing went on until about 5 a.m. in the morning. So from like 3 to 5 we were dancing, and then at 5 they brought out soup that we ate, and it was just like insane, and we didn't get home until 6 a.m. So it was it was so long, and that would never happen in the United States. If we had a party with all the family, it would end at like 12:01 at the latest. And my host brother was like, yeah, this is normal. It's kind of early, actually. Like, usually in these situations, we just don't sleep. And I'm like, how? Like, I'm so tired. And the problem was I was already kind of tired because the night before I had been out really late at the concert, and I didn't get much sleep, and I had to wake up kind of early to get the bus, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is insane. So I was so tired. So I slept a ton that night, and I woke up at like 3 p.m. on Sunday. And Sunday I just hung out and did some French work and made crepes with my host mom and my host brother, which was a lot of fun. I love me some crepes, crepe. And I learned how to flip it in the pan, flip and catch, and that was a lot of fun. And so then Monday, I got up early and took the bus with my host brother from Montreal back to Laval for school, and school that week was fine. The biggest update of this school week was I finished Friends, you guys. I finished Friends. It was really an emotional journey. It took me, I've been watching it since I got here, and I finished it. And I just have to say, if you've seen Friends, then you can maybe relate to this. If you haven't, then you should watch it. But Rachel should have gone to Paris. Hunty, come visit me in France. Don't go with Ross. he's stupid and annoying, and when he yells, it sounds like he has a frog in his throat. Come with me to France. I was really upset. I was like, why did you go to Paris? But that is a total sub note. So I finished that, and this week was kind of fun because I'm getting closer with my friends. My closest friends at school are probably Emma and Julia. Julia's from Italy, and we kind of were friends the first day, and then we didn't talk, and then now we've been talking a lot. And Neuron is me, Julia, and Neuron do eat together a lot, and I'm like getting closer with all these people, which is really exciting because it's nice to have friends at school. It's still kind of hard because I can't speak French very well, and so they'll be like in a conversation, and I'll be like, what? What do I, okay. Or I'll be in a conversation and I'll hear my name come up, and so like I'll know that they're talking about me, or they'll be like États-Unis or America, and I'm like, okay, they're talking about me, but I have no idea what they're saying, and it's kind of really frustrating because I'm like, they could be talking total shit about me and be like, ooh, excuse my French. They could be like, oh, you are horrible, you suck, that Julian K, why is he with us? But I wouldn't know, so I just kind of follow them around and piece together crappy sentences, and they help me with French, and I help them with English, and it's a good setup. I also got to eat lunch with Maka and go out with Maka a few times this last week, which was a lot of fun because it's just nice to speak English with her. She's really good at English. She speaks Spanish and English fluently, and now she's learning French, so that's crazy. And we just have a lot of fun. We're really similar, and we can just relate to a lot of stuff about our lives, which is nice. Thursday night, we had this big dinner with the governor of our Rotary district, and Maka was there as well, and it was fun. The food was really good, and there was just a bunch of old Rotarians that we ate with, and the governor gave a long speech, and I talked to the governor, and he was like, he said something that really, like, made me feel good. He was like, you know, I'm really happy that you're so positive, because I was talking to everyone and I was trying to be smiley and fun like I usually am, and he was like, I'm really glad that you're positive because it's really easy to really get down because of the language and not knowing stuff, so it's really good that you're staying positive. And I was like, thank you. It's kind of like one of the things that I'm proud about is that I can usually find a positive side to things. And then this past weekend, we had another Rotary meetup, which was really exciting. So we got to see all the kids that we saw in Vens and a lot more. So what was different about this one is our first Rotary meetup on our first weekend there was just our district. And this one was a bunch of different districts. There were 280 exchange students that went to this meetup. So it was really, really crazy and fun and a bit overwhelming. But we all went to Mont Saint-Michel, which is the second most visited tourist spot in France after the Eiffel Tower, so it was really cool to see that. And we left Saturday morning early, and it was the five kids in our area all drove up together, and we met all the exchange students, and we hung out, and we got to see all our friends from different areas in our district again that we met in Vens, and we got to meet some new kids from different districts. And then, so one of the really cool things about Mont Saint-Michel is that when it's low tide, so when the tide is out, you can walk really, really far out into the sand. And the sand is really unique because if you, like, jump on it, it turns into quicksand. So the 280 exchange students, we all walked out into this sandy area, and we did this big loop, and we all stopped at one point, and we all started jumping to turn it into quicksand, and it, like, immediately we were sinking down, like, past your knees, and you had to, like, try to crawl out, and then it got all muddy and slushy, and, two kids from our district pushed each other into the mud, and then a bunch of kids from our district joined, and we were just like laughing and having a great time pushing each other like into this quicksand mud stuff, and all the other districts were like watching us. No one else was joining but our district. It was kind of like a really cool bonding moment. And then after that there was like some water. There's like a river that runs, like a current that still runs with water even on low tide, so we all like dived into that and like washed ourselves off, and we're swimming in all of our clothes in the ocean, and it was just really fun. And then Saturday night we had this big dinner with all the exchange students, and this old French band played, and they played French folk music, and we all got up and danced, which was really fun. And then all the countries got together and sang their national anthems, which was really interesting to hear those, because I don't really know any except for "How say can you see?" And so it was really interesting to hear that. And then we had dinner. And then after that, we had this big dance party with the 280 exchange students, which went really late. And we were all dancing to this DJ, and there was like lights, and it was just like so much fun because we were all just like, woohoo, having a great time. And then later that night, I just like talked with my friends about life, and it was just like really cool because, you know, we're all kind of going through the same thing, and we're all trying to figure it out as we go because none of us know what to expect. It's good to be with other exchange students because it's just easy to talk to them. Sunday morning, we hiked up to the top of the castle, which was a lot of stairs, but getting that leg workout in, son! And then we just kind of had lunch and headed back to our towns. Finally, this past 2-3 days, it's just been school, and school's actually been pretty good. I've been getting more into doodling, like I said, and I got to bring my ukulele to school the other day for music class and play it, and last night I made more crepes with my host sister, and it's been pretty good. I'm settling into things more here, other than the language. Updates, I talked about friends and stuff. One thing that I'm really happy about is that I'm getting really close with my host sister, which is so great because we're just really similar, and we've been having like dance parties together and listening to music and cooking food and just laughing a lot and like watching TV together and making fun of each other, and it's just really cool because I like actually feel like I have a sister, and I've never had a sister before, which is really exciting, and I'm just like really grateful that I got to be in this family because I got to meet this really awesome host sister, and the rest of the family is so awesome too, and I'm really getting closer with them and feeling more at home here, which is really, really great. Frequently asked questions that I'm getting over text messages. I'm just going to answer them super quickly. Am I still eating a lot of bread? Yes, all the time. Have I eaten more crepes in my life these past weeks than I have ever? Yes. And am I a chain smoker yet? No. Stop asking, Mom and Dad. Have a little faith. Am I restarting New Girl because it's my favorite show and I've already watched 2 seasons of it? Yes. Am I addicted? Yes, probably. Do I relate to every single character? Yes. Okay, to be honest, that question was not asked. I just wanted to tell y'all that I've been watching New Girl. I'm back on the New Girl train. Jess, Nick, Schmidt, Cece, Winston, woo-woo. Past 2 weeks, like I said, I was going to do a theme for all these weeks, and it's the title of the vlog. So this vlog is learning to live with the awkward. So this is kind of a bit less serious, but I still think it's a really important lesson that I've learned, especially these past 2 weeks and my whole time being here. And it kind of, learning to live with the awkward is kind of just like a specific part of it. And it's kind of just not taking everything so seriously. In the United States, it's really hard, especially with school, to not take things seriously. Like when I get a bad grade, or I'm behind in a class, or there's a test, I take it so seriously and I put so much pressure on myself. Or if I have a performance or a speech and debate thing or anything like that, or an awkward encounter, I like put so much pressure on it. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was horrible, or it's going to be horrible, I need to do it right, I need to blah blah blah, and I just put so much pressure on myself, and I take everything so seriously. But here you can't do that. Like when you're on exchange, you just can't take things too seriously, or else you're gonna be pushing yourself down all the time, especially with the language. I have so many awkward encounters with the language. Like that Rotary dinner with the governor, I was talking to the governor's wife, and I accidentally used the informal instead of the formal form. So she asked me what state I was from, and I was like, oh, Montana. And then I was asking, do you know? And so it's like tu connais, which is, do you know it? But you would say that to a friend or someone you've known for a while, or someone who's the same age or younger than you, and you would never say that to someone who you've just met, who's older than you, who's the governor's freaking wife. And so she was like, vous Voo. And I was like, okay, yeah, voo, sorry. But like, if I took that awkward encounter seriously, I would have been beating myself up for like a week. Like, why didn't I say voo? But it's just like, oh, it happens. Or learning to take things not so seriously. And in school, with like tests and stuff, usually in the United States, I stress so much about tests. But here, I don't know when I'm going to have a test or what it's going to be on, so I just, like, kind of come into school. Like, this morning, I came into school, and I sat down, and they're like, are you ready? And I was like, what? And they're like, are you ready for the big test? And I was like, no. And then I just sat down and got handed the test. Usually my teachers don't make me take the test, but it's just, like, I'm not stressing about grades. I'm not stressing about anything in school. I'm not stressing about the language. I'm just trying to just, like, take it all in and be like, I'm here, and it's okay to be awkward, and it's okay to not take things so seriously, and laugh at yourself, and laugh at the encounters you have, and the things you do that might be so, not such a big deal. So, that was long. Thank you for putting up with me for the last 20 minutes. Sorry for the delay. I've had a busy week, so it's been hard to get this done, but I'm finally finishing it. One last thing. So I've done this on Facebook and Instagram, so you've probably already seen it and maybe you've already commented, but I'm trying to really get out of my comfort zone this year. So I'm asking people to give me challenges of things to do, and I've gotten so many great ones already, but if you have any ideas of challenges for me, just comment them below this video and I'll take a look at them. So have a great 2 weeks, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. And as the French say, la vie est belle.